The last person many people expected Lexus Antrom to fear was the man who constantly told the world he loved her. He posted about her, praised her online, shared photos of their life together, and presented himself as someone who would always protect her. But on February 12, 2026, that relationship became the focus of a homicide investigation in Columbus, Georgia. When police arrived at a home on Gardiner Drive, they found 28-year-old Lexus Antrom suffering from gunshot wounds. A short time later, she was pronounced dead. The man she had been building a life with, 22-year-old Kevawn Davenport, would soon be charged with her murder. Now her family is left grieving, her children are left growing up without their mother, and a case that began inside a home has left countless people asking what really happened that morning. Before she became the subject of headlines, Lexus was known as a hardworking mother, entrepreneur, actress, and content creator. Born in Philadelphia in 1997, she grew up as the only daughter among several brothers. Family members often described her as the peacemaker, the person everyone called when they needed advice or support. She became a mother while still a teenager, a responsibility that shaped much of her life. Rather than allowing that challenge to define her future, Lexus pushed herself even harder. She built a following online under the name Germani LaRose, pursued acting opportunities, appeared in reality television projects, launched a fashion brand, and worked to create a better future for her children. Her sons were the center of her world. Friends say nearly every decision she made was motivated by her desire to provide opportunities for them. Eventually, Lexus decided to leave Philadelphia and move to Georgia. It was a chance to start fresh, expand her career opportunities, and build the life she had always envisioned. At the time, the move seemed like a step towards something bigger. What she couldn't know was that a relationship she would enter a few years later would place her at the center of a tragedy that would leave her family searching for answers. By late 2024, Lexus had established herself in Georgia and was continuing to build her brand. Around that time, she began a relationship with Kevawn Davenport, an aspiring rapper trying to make a name for himself in the local music scene. The relationship quickly became public. Photos, videos, birthday celebrations, holidays, gifts, and affectionate captions filled their social media pages. To many people watching from the outside, they looked like a happy couple building a future together. Kevawn frequently posted about Lexus, making it clear how much she meant to him. Followers watched what appeared to be a relationship full of love and support. According to Lexus's mother, Tunisia Seals, Kevawn also earned the trust of family members. He appeared respectful, polite, and supportive. There seemed to be little reason for concern, but social media rarely tells the full story. Behind the photos and videos, problems were reportedly beginning to surface. According to Tunisia, Kevawn contacted her shortly before the shooting to discuss disagreements he was having with Lexus. He wanted to explain his side of the situation. Tunisia listened and offered advice, believing they were dealing with the type of relationship issues many couples face. At the time, she had no reason to think anything more serious was happening. What makes that conversation even more heartbreaking is that Tunisia was already carrying the weight of personal loss. She was still processing grief within her own family when another devastating phone call arrived. Shortly after 4 a.m. on February 12, 2026, officers with the Columbus Police Department responded to reports of a shooting at the couple's home on Gardiner Drive. Investigators later stated that the incident stemmed from a domestic dispute. Inside the home, Lexus had suffered fatal gunshot wounds. Emergency responders were unable to save her. The woman who had spent years building a future for herself and her children was gone. Meanwhile, police also found Kevawn suffering from a gunshot wound. He was transported to a local hospital as detectives began working to piece together exactly what had happened inside the home that morning. As investigators examined the evidence, the case moved quickly. On February 13th, less than 24 hours after the shooting, authorities announced that Kevawn Davenport had been charged with murder and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. The arrest shocked many people who had followed the couple online. The same relationship that had been displayed through loving posts, family photos, and public declarations of affection was now at the center of a homicide case. As news spread, followers began revisiting old posts and videos, searching for answers and wondering if there had been warning signs they had missed. While the public discussed the case online, Lexus's family faced a much more painful reality. They were grieving the loss of a daughter, a mother, a sister, and a friend. They were also trying to support two young boys whose lives had changed forever. Loved ones remembered Lexus as ambitious, creative, generous, and determined. They remembered her dedication to her children and her commitment to building a better future. For them, she was much more than the victim in a criminal investigation. She was the person who brought people together, encouraged others, and refused to give up on her goals. Today, the legal process continues, and many questions remain unanswered. Investigators reached one conclusion about what happened inside that home, while the full details of the case will ultimately be examined through the court system. What remains undeniable is the loss left behind. Two children lost their mother. A family lost someone they loved deeply. And a woman who spent years working toward her dreams never got the chance to see what the future held. As Lexus Antrom's loved ones continue seeking justice, they remain focused on preserving her memory and ensuring that her story is remembered not only for how it ended, but for the life she lived before tragedy struck.
If